therefore, actually, Buddhism is not the devotion, actually. It is not dual path leading to faith. Saddha is having actually different meanings. Now, I gave the characteristics relevant to Sotapanna, and last one also, ninth one. Actually, one who is confirmed in Saddha, actually he transformed that Saddha to develop all the potentialities. You understand, potentialities means actually some strength that may become strength to his life. Because those who are having Saddha now in Sri Lanka, actually there was a disaster, tsunami, in 1996, right? So those who were living in the coastal areas actually very badly affected by tsunami, right? So on those days actually I used to read many reports in some papers, right? One person actually without depriving his clothing, wearing clothes also, he went to a temple, and a certain bhikkhu had given him a robe to wear, right? And actually all the properties, material and immaterial, actually he happened to deprive of all the properties. But finally now, actually he had come to normal. When examining his life, actually he was developing, having Saddha. Actually that would be a power to a person, potentiality for a worldly, satisfactory worldly life also, happy life. Because that Saddha remains, although one happens to lead, faced with many miseries. Actually, although remaining Saddha, that means actually right understanding, he can start new life. That is the significance of Saddha. Saddha means here Panya. But this Saddha or Panya can be inculcated only by Sotapannas. That's why I always, wherever I discuss this topic, actually I say all the Buddhists should be Sotapannas. All the Buddhists should be Sotapannas. Otherwise, actually, they cannot be introduced as Buddhist. I saw an article written by Professor Law in Thailand, actually. Why I am not a Buddhist, actually. When I examined, I read that article, actually, he had mentioned, actually, spiritual materialism. That means, actually, those who are doing some religious activities only for the fame and some other requisites. They are not the Buddhists. All the Buddhists should be Sotapannas, actually. Now, during the advent of the Buddha, there was a city known as, actually, that was known as Savatthi. I think Pali term, city of Savatthi. In Sinhala language, Savatnuwara, actually Savatthi. There were actually several millions of people. Out of them, half of them were Sotapannas. When examining the life of that city, the people of the citizens of that city, actually they were living very righteous life. No corruptions, no criminals. So like that, actually leading in a social life, actually married life, we can understand very clearly, actually, those who are extreme enterers, Sotapannas, never coming back to unrighteous actions. In Pali terms, actually, Niyato Sambodhi Parayano, they are destined to Nibbana only. They are not coming back. So one is Sotapanna in the present birth, actually within the period of 7 births, at least 7 births, actually they would become Anagami, Sakadagami and Anagami and other fruits, and finally they would become Arhat. So therefore actually it is necessary to lead Sotapanna life, stream enterer, as the stream enterer, if one wants to succeed one's life actually. Therefore I can say actually it would not be a certificate. But actually when you peep into your own life, actually you yourself can understand, actually you can lead very successful life because of this as the stream enterers, actually, Sotapanna. And whatever sinful action done by him actually may be temporary. The results of them may be temporary, right? Now when you read Ratana Sutta, Kinchapiso kammam karoti papakam kayena vacha udachesava ababbo sotasa patichadaya. You never conceal them. Actually, revelation is actually one characteristic of Sotapanna. Always actually not given pardon, but when one introspects, that means actually when one understands that actually if I have done any fault, I don't concede that fault. Through the revelation, actually he comes to normal, which paves the way to furtherance of other spiritual qualities. So therefore actually here the characteristics pertaining to Sotapanna are very important for our daily life. That's what I want to tell you. That would not be a miraculous power, because those who have entered the Sotapanna status actually may be having miraculous powers, sometimes not. Actually miraculous powers are a different teaching, right? They can be practiced by some other saints also. During the advent of the Buddha also, they are having, because of some higher visions, they are having miraculous powers. But here realistic understanding. That is the very significant factor connected with the Sotapanna. Right? Now, actually I gave you the necessary characteristics. I don't know whether you could understand or not. But anyway, if you have some questions relevant to Sotapanna or stream enterer, so there are many points to discuss about these Sotapanna, stream enterer, but you can ask me so that I can discuss 2 or 3 questions here. Yeah.
How will one know whether one is in a stage 3?
Whether?
How will one know whether he is entered stream?
Actually, when you examine your daily life. Now, I will give one example. If you are leading married life, right? That married life is not only for sensual pleasures. Actually, your married life is given priority, first place, to offsprings, successors, or bringing forth the children. But many persons actually leading without realization of Dhamma, actually only for sensual pleasures. So actually that would be a very big problem, because those who are indulging in sensual pleasures, lead in married life, actually very easily may incline to do sexual misconduct. So therefore, Sotapannas are leading married life as an example. There may be some other examples, actually not only for sensual pleasures, but only for offspring. Offspring means actually children. So therefore actually when you are doing some jobs, occupations, actually all these occupations should be Sotapanna when they are doing them, actually righteous. Never earn money